On here with a deck that I built, I don't know, a while back. Just something fun. I've never seen anybody else build something like this, so I just thought I would share it. It's not a competitive or a meta build, so don't expect to be winning any tournaments with it anytime soon. It's just something fun that I put together, so I thought I'd share it and see what everybody thought. So we'll start with the monsters. Let's get the extra deck put aside here. We don't want that. Okay, and as you can see, running Magspectors. And of course, any Magspector wants 3 Bunbucos. So we have 3, because there's your big searcher. And then 3 Nekomatas, because there's your other searcher. And then I have 3 Cubies, because you're going to want that Magspector traps. Okay, and then I have 2 Ogamas, just because he's, you know, useful on both fronts. Not that I get any spells, but we'll get into that. Okay, and then next, this is where things go a little different. I have 3 Amorphage Letri, and then I run 2 Greed, I run 3 Pride, and then I have 2 Amorphage Sloth. Okay, so there we have our monsters to start with. And we'll get into it in a second. So we'll just start that. Oh, jeezums. Scoop. Okay, so there's our monsters to start. Okay, and then we continue with our spells. 3 Majesty's Pegasus, because once again, if you're running Magspectors, you want that field card. And then I have 3 Terraformings, because you want that field card. That's going to be the basic part of the combo. Okay, and then I have 3 Amorphage Infection, which is the other part, which I'll get into. I'll explain it after I show it all. And then I have 1 Dark Hole for reasons, if I can get it to not stick. Okay, so there's your spells. So we'll take those, put them aside for now. Okay, and then last we got our traps here. Solemn Warning, because negate. Grand Horn, because negate. 3 Magspector's Tempest, because negate. 2 Magspector Gust, because you're going to want to switch those pendulum zones on occasion. And then 2 Pendulum Reborn, if they need to get them from either your, extra deck, or if they do actually get sent to your graveyard. So you have that. Okay, so there's all the traps. Okay, and then next we have our extra deck. You don't really need the extra deck. It's very rare that I go into it, but sometimes it comes in useful. So I've got Lightning Chidori and Castile, and then I run the Super Quantal Mecha Beast Ouroboros. I like his built-in Book of the Moon. The Ascending Draco Slayer, because for pendulums that works pretty well. I run the 2 number 82 Heartland Draco, because if you've got, your Amorphage Infection on the field, that's going to be what you're going to use to attack directly. The Super Quantal Mega Beast Gamprols, because once again, he actually has a built-in MST too, if you can use on either turn. 2 Totem Birds, and then 2 Fortune Tunes. Oops, bumped my camera. Stop bumping it. Okay, so there's your extra deck. And like I said, the extra deck isn't super useful. It's there if you need it. So we're going to scoop that up. Now, and you're wondering, it's like, well, how does this work? Allow me to explain. Now, it's not consistent. I've said that at the beginning, but it's still enough that you should be able to shut down part of your opponent's deck first turn. And what you really want to do is you want to stun spells and their extra deck. You can get traps, it's just trickier to do. So, but this is actually your ideal hand. And now obviously this can be switched for terraforming. There's enough search power in this that you should be able to get Pegasus first turn. And it doesn't matter which Amorphage you have, as long as it's one of the level 4s. So if you have Greed or Pride, you're doing okay. So you start off with your Majesty's Pegasus, okay? So you have that. And then you start off with your Amorphage Infection. So you have 2. Okay, then you normal summon your Bunbuko. You bring out Bunbuko. You want to get one of your Magspectors. You're going to get your level 2. So you want your level 2 scale, or your scale 2 in your hand. So that's going to be Nekomata. You want Nekomata. Alright, you tribute your Bunbuko. He goes to your extra deck. Okay, get Fox. Okay, QB's not only going to give you your trap, but also since you tributed, you get an Amorphage to your hand. You want Letri. Okay, so now you have your setup scale. So you have Letri in your hand, you have Nekomata, play them as your scales. Great, so now you have those. Then if you have your other Amorphage in your hand, and you've still got Manbuko, you can Pendulum. Pendulum 2. Okay, so now you have effectively shut down your opponent's spells and their extra deck first turn, plus you have your Magpester's Tempest, so you set that, and you can still negate anything that they would summon. And with that, if you do, they summon something, you Tempest it, doesn't matter who you tribute Manbuko because you'll get his effect back. Morphage Infection goes off because it goes off on each player's turn. Now you have your Sloth. That's terrific. Okay, so then that's good. That goes to your graveyard. Hopefully your opponent hasn't done anything else to wreck your field. So then you have him in your hand. Well, now your turn comes by again. You draw your card. Doesn't matter. And then Letri's effect goes off. Okay, well, now I have to tribute Pride. Okay, so I tributed a monster. I get Infection again. So you add another Amorphage to your hand. And you can do Greed. Let's take Greed, because why not? Actually, no. You probably want Pride, because you want to start plowing your enemy over. Okay. So that Pride goes to your hand. You've already got Sloth in your hand that you added on your opponent's turn. So then you can pop with Majesty's Pegasus. Morphage Infection doesn't go off because you already used it again. But you can put whatever you want on the field. Get another Bunbuko so you can add, we'll put Ogama in your hand. And then you can Pendulum Summon all the things because since you don't have an Amorphage on the field, you get your extra deck. And then you still have power to tribute because you haven't normal summoned yet. Hey, look at that, there's Sloth. 2-turn board. Plus you'd get QB's effect again, so you would have another Tempest on the field. And that's how the deck runs. And then, like I said, if you have to, if you get into a pinch, you know, you can always go into your extra deck. And the other thing I said too is you can shut down traps if you decide you want to take your Amorphage, where is it? Or Magpester Gust, excuse me. You can just remove Tempest and hopefully you have Greed in your hand. Well, now your opponent doesn't have traps either. Now, the backside of that is, now on your standby phase, you're tributing 2 monsters instead of 1. And Sloth does not come back unless you Pendulum Reborn him, which that is in here also. So that's just a fun little deck idea that I run. And like I said, it's not consistent, but I have shut down decks first turn, which is a little fun. I like it when people say they can't break my board. It doesn't happen often, but it's fun. All right, so that's it for today. If you liked it, you know, click that like button, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. And you can follow me on Twitter. I don't say much. I basically just post, you know, when I put up videos. So that's it for today. We'll see you laters. Sometimes the monsters just don't like to play with each other. Sit there and draw and you get Magpectors or you get the Morphages. I don't know.